Room temp LaCroix.
I love it, actually. Room temp more than...
Oh, that's you should be sent to jail for that. Well, the LaCroix are expensive.
It's like $4 for an 8-pack.
I think it's $4.99.
Probably.
I mean, that's a lot.
That is a lot. Because I used to spend like $2.99 on a 12-pack of the Kroger brand ones.
I buy the Whole Food knockoff brand, which is $4.49 for a 12-pack.
Yeah. It's just because the only 12-packs they sell at Sprouts are Topo Chico.
Oh,
so they're like $13.
Yeah. That's a treat for me at this point.
I do it as a treat sometimes.
Yes, but like I'm not going to pay $13 for 10 bottles of Topo Chico.
Well, and because like when I have fucking soda water in the house, I'm not drinking regular water. That's my water.
Yeah.
So I'm going to burn through.
Yes.
I could burn through a case in a day, no problem. Can I tell you about something fucking tragic that happened to me?
Oh, no.
This was a couple months ago.
Okay.
So I'm okay. But I got a 12-pack of Topo Chico. I was treating myself. Yeah. And I went and picked up my groceries and I brought everything in. And then I was like, I bet I could still grab this Topo Chico. And I dropped it and the cardboard broke. So it just, and then shattered glass inside of the thing and then just bubble out.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
That is an actual nightmare.
It's like in the street, but it's like a box full of glass now.
So the glass didn't get out of the box?
No, but it's a soggy, soaking wet, bubbling box of glass.
So it's a matter of time before it breaks. And
so
the
then I had
everywhere.
to be like, run inside, drop off my groceries, run back outside, grab it. And then I was like, I'm not throwing this away because if there's even one Topo Chico in here that's good,
true,
I'm having that. Yeah. So I brought it into my apartment.
Dripping?
And there were like...
Dripping?
Yeah. It's water. And they were like... dude, what worth it? There were probably, it was over half of them were fine.
Really?
Yeah. Which I was like, thank God I didn't do what I was about to do, which was pitch a fit.
Which is what I would have done.
I was going to pitch a fit and just walk from my car straight to that dumpster silent.
I also would have been like embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Did anybody just see me do that?
And I was parked right in front. So I was like, choice spot, getting my Topo Chico.
Damn.
Yeah. But it was months ago. I still think about it.
Yeah. But at least, you said you've recovered. But yeah, no, that would have ruined my day. I would have pitched a fit. I would have
It's when I stopped buying Topo Chico. I started just getting the LaCroix because I was like, I'll drop these cans.
Yep.
I'll throw these cans on the ground.
They're not gonna fucking break.
I don't care about these cans. Topo Chico's fucking good. The bubbles are smaller.
More compressed.
They're like little tinier bubbles.
Well, Topo Chico's spicy.
Yeah.
I forget what we say now. We say,
Welcome back to another
Welcome back to another episode of Secondhand Smut. I'm Angela.
And I'm Paul.
And this is another episode of Secondhand Smut.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
And we're back.
We're back for another one. I just want to rip this Band-Aid off and talk about it because I can't wait any longer.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Red Note.
We have to, yeah.
Okay. People are like, are you in mourning? Are you sad that TikTok's gone? And I'm like, no, I have Red Note. Why would I be sad? It's perfection. It's like...
never want TikTok to come back.
Okay. Yes. You know what it's like? It's like when I discovered TikTok for the first time in 2020 and I was giddy and I was like, oh my God, this is new. This is amazing. That's how I feel about Red Note. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Every time I flip that shit and it's a Chinese person going, hey, TikTok refugee, and then telling me something, I'm just like, you don't get it, man. I fucking hate it over here. Everyone's so fucking mean here. Everyone is stupid and dumb and turns on you. I just don't want to deal with us here. So like you guys being chill and welcoming, I'm just like, thank you.
Paul, it's not a joke when they're like, two cultures are coming together. A.
It is.
B, but I see all these TikTok videos. I just saw one I was going to send it to. Oh.
Actually,
I have one. Let me just finish this one.
You go because I have one and then you go.
I'm sorry.
No, this is good.
I know. We're so excited. Okay. The only thing I was going to say about your point is I just saw a video or like tons of videos where the Chinese people are like, we thought Americans were stupid, dumb, asshole, ignorant pieces of shit. And he's like, where are the assholes? He's like, everyone I've seen on TikTok is just like us. You're fucking cool. We're cool. It's like the propaganda we've been fed is 100%. Like for us to hate them and them to hate us. And we're like, oh my God, now we have Red Note. We're all fucking friends.
That has been really like the most heartwarming part of it.
It's so heartwarming.
Because also like in America, we expect that if a bunch of people came over to like an American app that we would have a bunch of right-wing gun-toting motherfuckers being like, go back to your country.
Right.
But those people won't probably join Red Note because it's communist, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm Comrade Paul. Let's go, Comrade.
Dude, all the comrades are going
Yeah,
over
dude,
to Red Note.
I'll feel comrade on Red Note.
Oh my lord.
Let's go.
It's so fun.
This is what I have to say that I'm a little worried about.
Okay.
And not even worried. Just, something to think about.
Uh-huh.
How are we with gay people in China?
Well, I have seen some videos where...
Because I saw a video where it was like, that was a topic you shouldn't discuss was LGBTQ stuff. But it seemed like it was a video from like some American girl. And I don't trust them.
Well, and I saw another one. So I follow this guy on TikTok who is now on Red Note, and I went over and looked at his page on Red Note, and he was like, my video got taken down where I said I was gay.
So I'm a little worried about that, because that is a kind of a deal breaker. I will have to let you know, if you can't be gay, then I can be there, and I won't give you my content. But just, I guess it's exciting because we're on the cusp of something. For sure. And also it's like, is it that the government doesn't want me to be gay or mention that I'm gay, or the citizens? Because I would suspect it's more like it is here, where it's like the government has like these views that we don't have. For sure. So it's like, if the government doesn't like that I'm gay, then I'm going to be there extra hard, and I'm going to sneak my gay in every way I can. I just won't say it. Yeah. And that's just a form of rebellion.
Hey, it's new.
It's new and it's exciting. What's their smut world like? Well, what's the Chinese smut books?
Oh my god, I can't even imagine.
Like we should get on there and start doing posts of like, we're a smut podcast. Tell us your smut books, and then you can read some translated Chinese. I wonder if they even have them. If they even know what that is. Like, but also we could also just be being fully ignorant Americans again, where we are like thinking that they have this death grip on them, and we're like exaggerating.
100%.
But that's the cool part. Yes. I think every country needs to have like a Red Note that we can all hop on and just be like, this is us, this is us, this is us. And then we all come together in like middle ones.
That would be so cool.
Where you could like flip between like, I'm going to go to like Europe. I'm going to go to the Netherlands,
South
like whatever.
Australia,
or I can just go to like the master universal one. And that For You pages comes from all of them. But otherwise I can hop into them. And it's just about like exchanging like what it's like to live in each place. That is what social media should be. Instead of a fucking nightmare, commercialized, compare me to you hellhole. It should just be like, look what it's like here. What's it like there?
That is what social media
and that's like the power of what it could do.
Wow. But, oh my god, we're on the cusp of something.
Which is how I just know that something is going to come and ruin it. So Red Note, super exciting. Just got to figure out some of the kinks of it. And I also hate, with a fiery passion, that when you open TikTok now, the message it gives is like, President Trump's gonna fucking save us. And I'm just like, okay, you and Diet Coke can go suck Trump's dick and never see me again.
There's so much behind it too. Like TikTok, this is just my opinion, okay? Only mine.
Yep.
There you go. It will come back. Yeah. But they will have sold to
Elon Musk. That's what's going to happen.
And it's going to be completely censored. It's going to be just like Meta.
Yeah.
It's going to be no different than Instagram. Completely censored. Completely.
All the reasons we left all the other social media platforms and weren't into them. It's going to be. Yep. And then we're just going to go to Red Note. And that'll be that until they take
Red Note away. What if that's going to be swift? Because
now they're on a roll.
Well, and they know that 180 million people, probably 100 million of them went over to Red Note.
Dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to say this. I might have to cut it.
Okay.
We need like Anonymous to come in and just handle a couple of things for us.
Oh my God.
Like they need to come just be like, I'm going to deem this social media app untouchable, and we will roll out your software updates, and we will fucking handle your shit. Dude. Because like the people need to, just the fact of how good it feels to be on Red Note and to be like directly communicating with another population of people that are just like, I live a life where a government does everything. I'm completely disconnected from it.
Yes.
Like, is so refreshing. And to just be like, same, and celebrate the differences is where it's at.
It's a beautiful thing. And can I tell you something else? It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
What happened to Anonymous? I haven't heard from Anonymous.
When was the last time they did something?
While. Yeah, but are they being censored? Are they gone? Are they dead? They're gone.
Well, if they like found them and killed them, but I thought it was supposed to be like, we are anonymous.
I don't know, man.
But the whole thing is like the people that are like, we are anonymous, were like the fucking losers from your high school who are like wearing the mask and taking a like Facebook picture and being like, we're anonymous. I'm like, are you anonymous? Posting that to your personal Facebook page, you idiot.
Do you want to know something funny speaking about masks? before TikTok got taken away yesterday, all the like masked men TikTok thirst trap accounts were like, we're going to reveal our identity. Most of them, women
Wait,
under the masks.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But the bodies were always like...
The ones that would wear gear.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense. All the ones that I'm thinking of that are in like biker gear, tactical gear.
Women. Isn't that amazing?
That's so hot.
I know.
That's like so hot.
Like, of course you were a woman.
Of course you were a woman
smart.
because only a woman knows how to be that much of a man. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Only
you know?
A woman knows how to
dominate a woman.
Yeah.
But also I'm just like, a little trans.
A
little trans.
Totally.
You got a little trans flair going on. I love that.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun.
I do want to be like, can I learn Mandarin now?
You can now. I've already got a folder saved and have saved like 5 videos.
Okay, well, I need to get on there because I got it so recently, and then I was just like going through like crafting videos and like cooking videos, and then like I just like seriously almost started crying. Like when I was just hearing the like "Welcome TikTok refugee" over and over again, because I'm just like, thanks.
They're
like,
so sweet.
You're so sweet, and like this is so cool.
It really is cool. It's very much feels like a community, which is very fun. But yeah, no, very, very into that. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk about. Denver's opening up a smut bookstore.
Right. Yes. So this is hot off the presses. Is it open already? Or is it
so I saw an article that said this is opening on Saturday, but I didn't see when.
Was Saturday when it was written? Yeah.
Was it Saturday like yesterday? So I don't know.
But I mean, it probably is open then.
I think it's probably open. Yeah. So I am so excited.
Yeah, that's
go check
fucking
that
big
out.
news.
Do you want to go with me or?
Yeah, I want to go with you. I mean, I won't focus on like titles, or if you see a book you're going to read for the podcast, just don't tell me.
But you got to go to check it out.
But I'll go check it out, and plus, like, we definitely need to go like put up a flyer or something.
Yes.
We got to go get our name out there, or like talk to the owners or something, and just let them know that we're like Denver local smut specific podcast. Yeah. But either way, and we'll shout them out.
Hell
we are right now already free advertising. What's it called?
It's called the
Spicy Library of Smut. Spicy.
Like that.
The hot library.
Dude, I'm just saying it's about time Denver got a freaking smut bookstore dedicated, because I've wanted one for so long.
Instead of just like that back room in stores that say like no kids.
For sure. It's called the Spicy Librarian.
The Spicy Librarian.
In Rhino. Jesus, I'm excited.
Yeah, we should look into that more and like see who owns it and stuff. Hopefully it's woman owned.
I do believe there's a woman in this interview, so
I hope it's queer, woman, black owned.
Me too.
Business.
Yeah, so that's exciting.
Yeah, that's super exciting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, crazy shit going on.
Yeah, man. Well, so in for a little treat this week.
Yeah, very excited for this book.
This is like a book talk TikTok smut book sensation.
What are we to call things on Red Note? Book Note?
Red.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. Book Note would be pretty good.
That would be good. Yeah. Huh. It would have to be. That's interesting.
That is.
So, Ice Planet Barbarians.
Ice Planet Barbarians.
By Ruby Dixon.
It looks really good.
This book is in a series of, this is book 1 of 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know. Christine's like, you can't read them all. And I was like, oh, no, I'm definitely not. And then I read this and I was like, oh, I'm reading them all.
I mean, like, when you say I can't read them all, do you mean that in a like...
Oh, she means in a mental health way.
Oh.
She was like, you can't read them all. It's not going to be good for you. Oh, no, I'm reading them all.
Does she know how many books you're burning through and the level of them?
But I think that's her point, is because my therapist was like, why don't you read a book every other day?
I was going to say, like, if you zoomed it out just a little bit, like maybe there's a case to be made that you're escaping from reality in some kind of way.
That's 100.
I don't know.
Well, that's the point of them. It's called escapism, and that is the point of what I'm doing. But my therapist is like, there's nothing wrong with that, but just because I'm reading a book a day, and she's like,
you're just escaping pretty far,
just a little too much. Like,
I get it.
For example, today's January 19th. I've read 21 books this month.
More books than days.
More books than days. Well, because 3 of them are audiobooks. So
you're listening to those while you're reading another book.
Well, I would. Yeah. I'm reading while I'm reading while I'm working, you know? So it's just like, yeah.
I get you.
So that's why she was like, maybe don't read 22
it's like
aliens.
It's fine to escape sometimes, but you do have to come back.
Exactly.
Which I get that, though.
I get that, too. She's being a supportive friend.
Yeah.
I made a goal to read 175 books in the year of 2025. I wanted to do 200. If I'm reading 25 books a month, and there's 12 months in a year, do that fast, man.
I won't.
12, 24, 36, 48. Yeah, it'll be over 200.
Yeah.
Oh, much more.
Because if it's 25 a month, just 10 months, 250.
Yeah. You're right. Anyway,
Wait,
I digress.
Yeah.
This week we're reading book 1, Ice Planet Barbarians.
I'm super excited. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm finally like a little fantasy, a little sci-fi, a little
Definitely
something out
sci-fi.
there. Yeah.
Go ahead and read the back of that, if you will.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. The international publishing phenomenon. International? Red Note?
Red Note.
I feel very international now that I'm on Red Note. Actually, that's how I feel international.
It does
now.
make you feel international.
Yeah, the worldly. I feel like we're a planet, not a country.
Yes. God, that's
which we
deep.
should prepare for the aliens. Ice Planet Barbarians, now in a special print edition. What was it before? Digital only?
Yeah.
Okay. Now not just a PDF you download. Fall in love with the out-of-this-world romance between Georgie? Okay.
Was that really so hard?
No, I just always am like expecting to say the name wrong at this point. Georgie Carruthers? Carruthers?
But her last name's irrelevant.
Okay. A human woman and Vectol, an alien from another planet. You'd think being abducted by aliens would be the worst thing that could happen to me, and you'd be wrong. Because now the aliens are having ship trouble, and they left their cargo of human women, including me, on an ice planet. Oh, I don't like that. That's actually horrifying. Okay.
Just wait.
We're not equipped for life in this desolate winter wasteland. Since I'm the unofficial leader, I head out into the snow to look for help. I find help all right. A big blue horned alien introduces himself in a rather startling way. Bechtel says that I'm his mate, his chosen female, and that my presence is the reason his chest is purring. He'll help me and my people survive, but this poses a new problem. If Vectel helps us survive, I'm not sure he's going to want to let me go.
Does it smell like something's burning? Like hot electronics?
Well, I'm going to check now that you're saying that.
Do you smell that?
I smell maybe something.
You know what? Maybe it's just your heater.
It's probably just my heater.
Because I think mine smells like that too sometimes. Yeah. Sorry to scare you.
No, that's fine.
No, that's fine.
This building's had more than one fire scare in the past couple months.
I know. So. Your building does almost burn down.
Yeah, twice already.
So sorry to
Oh, that's okay.
So what do you think?
That sounds great.
Paul.
I mean, I'm a little worried about this Vectel and how he is just claiming people and whether or not there's consent.
Oh, it explains everything.
Okay.
So let's just get right into it because it's quite interesting.
Wait, hold on. Can I look at the front cover?
Oh, yeah. So there's this photo of him where his face is cut off, but also one right there.
Okay, because that's the thing. I was like, I see her. Oh, he's got long hair. I'm grossed out.
Oh, a mane.
Oh, he's got really long hair. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's got those horns look more like
a demon.
Goat horns, ram horns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a tiefling
but an alien.
D&D and Baldur's Gate.
And he has this tail.
Yeah, just like a tiefling.
So I don't know. I really couldn't rate it. I couldn't give you a spice. I just was like, buckle up for the ride.
Okay.
This is a very fast-paced book, and actually, it's more of a novella. Basically, here on out is...
Well, that's like almost half the whole thing.
Right. I read this I think in 4.5 hours.
Oh, okay. Sweet.
So it's very small. But it says, enjoy this bonus novella. It finishes Georgie and Vectel's story, but it's after book 2. So it has spoilers for book 2. And I'm going to read book 2.
So you didn't read it.
I didn't read
That's
the bonus
fine.
novella.
We'll come back to it.
Yeah. So
you know what? That's kind of a fucking move. Because that's like half of this book isn't this book.
Well, the book came out after because it was only digital for so long.
Yeah.
And then so many people downloaded it, they put it in a book, and the author was like, oh, well, I'm going to add this. I want to finish their story. The fans want more Georgie and Vectel because it was so short.
Yeah.
It was so short. You're like, this is crazy how short this is.
That's crazy. That's fun.
It's like just a short story.
That's a creative way to get around that.
It sure is. So, this was crazy.
Oh, yes, dude.
So, we open on this woman, Georgie, who is 22 years old, long brown hair.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the cover.
I've seen her.
From Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And
not a huge fan.
She thought she was dreaming. She was like, I thought she was in a dream where she saw like a train coming at her. Turns out when she comes to, she is behind bars in a cell in what she's thinking is like a cargo hold on a spaceship.
Okay.
And she can't really move her arms. She's like slurring her words. She's like, I've been drugged and abducted by aliens.
Something's up.
And immediately she notices the smell. She's like, it smells like sewage in here. It fucking reeks.
Ew.
Paul, I'm going to tell you, this book is a little, I'm like, all right. Anyway.
In what kind of way?
Well, just wait till we get to it.
In like the grossness?
Yeah, in like the grossness. And I'm just like, I mean, that's realistic. You're right. Because what would happen? That's what would happen. You're right.
I guess so, but
I'm just like, it's a little graphic. Which is crazy for me to say because I read the most graphic shit in the world, but it's a little graphic.
But I think about getting abducted by aliens so much.
Well, it's just like,
but never think about
happened?
like, oh, people are like in a cargo hold, like shitting in the corner and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess it's because like whenever
you've been there for weeks.
Well, it's like I don't think about it if they're aliens that are just like collecting people for.
If they're nice aliens and they're giving you a toilet
or something, yeah. Like I'm like, if I'm like research subject abducted, sure, you take care of your research subjects real quick. But if you're just like meat or
cattle, they refer to themselves as cattle,
then you're just like, okay, shit.
Prisoners. You're in a cell. Yeah. Where are you gonna? Yeah. So she immediately notices it smells like shit, piss, BO, sweat.
Yeah.
And she sees that there's like other girls piled in this cell, and she's like, what the fuck? She's just kind of taking stock, and then she sees 6 pods along the wall, and there's like tubes, beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, and she hears, shh, don't scream. And it's Liz. We've got our introduction to Liz.
Best friend Liz.
And
she's like, the new ones always scream.
The new ones always scream. She was like, bad things happen when you scream. Don't scream. Shh. And so she's just like, okay. And she's like trying to talk, but she's still slurring her words.
Yeah,
and
nightmare.
Liz just, it's a nightmare. It's worst case scenario.
It really is.
I'd
rather them just kill me. If I get abducted, I'd rather they just like turn me inside out and I'm dead than this off your planet cattle.
Totally. So she gives her the rundown. And she's like, let me guess, are you 22? You're not pregnant. You don't really have any family. You're healthy. She's like, yeah.
They like I'm 22?
Just young and healthy women, So she's like, yep, all of us are. She's like, I've been on board for 2-3 weeks. I can't remember. And she was like, it seems like we're picking up a new girl every 2 days. And there's women in those 6 pods. And we feel like those were the women they came for. But now they're just kind of collecting more of us to sell off. This is what we've thought over the past couple of weeks as her and the other women have been there. They're like, why are they collecting us? And so this is what Liz thinks. Liz is like, I think they're collecting us like cattle and they're going to sell us off as slaves.
Yeah, some kind of slave meat, something. I would be like, yeah, but like if there's like these 6 girls that are in these pods, I want in that pod, bro.
They were kind of alluding to this, but they'd never said this. Like maybe the aliens' objective was to get 6 women. And that's why they put those in the pod. And the aliens were like, oh, yeah, but I can pick up more women and sell them on the side.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. They were
like,
alluding
I got hired to go pick up 6 women. But since I'm here.
Yes.
And you know what? That's what I would do if I was an alien, too.
If you're an evil alien.
And that's what I'm doing. Yes. And this means something to me. I'd be like, well, I'm not flying out to this backwater planet later.
Yes. So that's what Liz is saying. She's also noticing she's got huge bumps in her arm. Something's been implanted in her.
Okay.
Liz is like, yeah, and this girl, Kira, they tagged her ear with a translator. She's the only one that can understand the aliens. And
all right, well, she needs to get here with me. I need her on my side.
Yes. We've got 2 types of aliens. A couple days goes by. And so the aliens come in and Georgie's seen them. So the green guys, typical aliens, she thinks they're like the leaders. They're running the show. And then the basketball heads, she calls them, or ball heads, she calls them, are the muscles, the enforcers. They've got big, huge round heads with weird orange skin, like needles for teeth, opaque eyelids.
Ugh.
And yeah, they're nasty and they're mean.
This book is going places.
And fast.
Yeah.
So one day, like 3 days later, a new woman gets put there. And they're like, shh, don't scream. And she screams fucking
we find
bloody
out.
murder.
I was going to say, I do want to know what happens when they scream.
Well, I'm sure you know. She screams bloody murder, and she's speaking French.
Yeah.
So we're like, she's not understanding when they're saying don't scream. The ball heads come in, and she won't stop screaming, and they strap her down and her. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's like that.
I was reading this book, and I said, I thought this was supposed to be funny.
I thought this was going to be a lighthearted, fun little sci-fi adventure.
It is, with random ass fucking dark graphic
stuff.
Shit. Well, the scene wasn't graphic, but I was just like, we're going there?
Yeah. We're doing sexual assault in the spaceship.
Yes. And we find out her name is Dominique. Anyway, Dominique comes back in So they're basically just painting the picture that this is hell.
Yeah, this is bad.
Right. So 2 weeks goes by. They've stopped picking up other women.
What are we eating?
They get 1 in the morning, 1 in the night, a seaweed. She thinks is like a seaweed bar.
But it's like filling them up or what?
No.
Okay.
Seaweed has no fucking calories in it.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is space seaweed.
I mean, it must be space weed, but
Space weed. Actually, big fan.
Whew, that would be
big fan.
Man, imagine the different kinds of weeds that are on other planets. Anyway.
Yeah, but they got good drugs out there.
They have to.
They got way better drugs.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, 1 seaweed thing a night, and then she's like, explains the water is like a massive gerbil water feeder type thing, and a bucket to piss and shit in that they empty once at night, and it's just like teeming over because there's now at this point like 9-ish women in there. In this cell. Imagine like a 10 by... I mean, it's fucking crazy.
Imagine my apartment with 9 people in it.
And we'll imagine a third of your apartment with 9 people. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So that's the conditions. So after a couple weeks, Georgie's just like, listen. And she can tell that they're like going warp speed now. Just based off feeling it. She's like, we're clearly... And they're done picking up women. So she's like, we're clearly going fucking somewhere. Yeah. So it's now or never for us to just try and do something. Our lives are going to be hell. No matter what. Yeah. So let's just try.
At that point, I'd be like, I'm just trying to blow the ship up and kill all of us. Yep. Because what else are we doing? You know, just kill me. Yeah.
So they devise a plan where they're going to lure a guard in and like throw the shit bucket over him.
Gross.
And steal his gun and shoot him. And then as people come in, just shoot them.
Solid.
They volunteer her. She's like, well, I guess I'm become this little leader of this group. And so she like gets his attention. He opens the gate. She has the shit bucket. And then the ship starts jostling around.
Oh, we got space turbulence?
We have... And it says that... She goes, turbulence in space?
Turbulence in space? Who knew?
She is like... The author said, I thought it was supposed to be a smooth ride.
Yeah, solar winds.
Right. Space turbulence. So I'm deducing that it's not space turbulence. Something's wrong with the ship.
Something's wrong with the ship.
The shit ends up going all over her, some on him. They're jostling around like it's fucking gnarly. And then all of a sudden there's no gravity.
Ew, floating shit.
And so shit is everywhere.
Shit is floating.
They're everywhere. And then it's like jostling crazy. And then it stops. And when they drop down, she's like close enough to the gun, gets the gun, bashes the alien over the head with it over and over and over again.
Shoot him. It's a gun.
She couldn't figure out how to shoot it.
Okay.
Smashes him in like a blind rage. And they're like, stop, he's dead. Like she bashes his skull in.
I love that this is a smut book. Because it's like, you know, when I give my guesses and there's no like room for sex in the guess because it's all just ridiculous.
Sure.
That's how this book is.
Yes. It's crazy, Paul. And so I don't even really need to read my notes for this. So then Kira's like, they're talking about we're going to drop off and come back at a later time, something. And so then...
Drop in the cargo, we'll pick it up.
Yeah. And well, exactly, Paul. In the book, Georgie goes, we're the cargo.
Yeah. I would have been like, obviously, we're the cargo.
Yeah.
But I would definitely be like, where are you dropping me? We're in space.
Obviously, the cargo hole gets dropped, and they're just free falling. She blacks out.
Yeah.
When they come to, shit is torn to shit. Legs are broken. Wrists are broken.
I was going to say, like, if this thing isn't landing...
2 girls are dead in the corner, all fucked up. Just shit is fucked up, and they can see a tear in the hole, and there's light and snow coming through.
I got to tell you, this has not been hot so far. I am not turned on. I am not steamy. I'm like stressed out. I'm like uncomfortable.
Well, even when it does get steamy, I'm like, I'm not steamed up right now.
I'm like, yeah, sorry. I can't think about sex because I saw all those dead women covered in their own shit.
Yeah. And so she's literally covered in shit.
Yeah.
They're down there.
Is this like a scat thing?
No, it's not because you get cleaned off at some point. Anyway. But still, hold on.
I'm freaked out, man.
I know, dude. I was freaked out reading this.
I'm like worried for these women.
Well, yeah. It certainly appeals to a certain type of...
Yeah, the lucky ones died on the way down. Yeah. Is how I feel about this book.
To an extent. I guess I could see in the end. Anyway. So after they like take stock of what's going on, you know, and they've been talking for a couple hours. By the way, the 6 women in the pods, totally fine.
Get me in that pod.
Yeah, no shit. They've figured out that someone needs to go get out of the spaceship and see where they're at. They're like, if there's snow, there's water, there's obviously oxygen.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be some life. Like, we've got to get food, we've got to get water, we got to see.
Like, doesn't guarantee there's life. Ice Age, bitch.
For sure.
But
Georgie has become like the leader again, and she's like, I'll go outside. I'll figure out what we can do. Her wrist is like broken, by the way.
Ugh.
She takes the space alien's outfit off and puts it on because she was in her sleep pajamas.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like,
camisole.
isn't everyone probably like nude or in not
because they were like
winter
abducted
clothes?
in bed.
Yeah.
So she puts his shit on, and she pulls herself out, and she's like, "Oh my god, I'm in an ice planet."
Yeah, like barren wasteland.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
So she just starts trudging along. And she sees mountains, so she's like, I guess I'll just go this way. I gotta just see what's going on here. So after hours of trudging, she can hear water. And she's like, oh, if water's running, it's not frozen. Maybe it's warm. And so she gets up to this stream creek and sees what they describe as like bamboo reeds sticking out of the water. And she's like, huh. And so she like walks over to the edge and leans over and sees like a fish face looking up at her. And it's clearly attached. This is like its nose
like breathing
or something.
Through.
But they're like 10, 15 feet tall. Just
weird. Yeah, weird aliens.
And it smells like eggs. You know, it's like a hot springs.
Like
it smells
sulfur,
like sulfur.
yeah.
And so she freaks out. She's like, oh my god, are they going to attack me? Turns around, runs back to where she just came from, which had been like a sort of a tree, type of a tree. It's like pink. It's just fucking, think of like Avatar.
Okay,
world,
yeah.
You know, like pink. She's like calling them trees, but she doesn't really know what they are. And it's been like 5-6 hours at this point. I mean, she's almost frozen to death.
I was gonna say she's been like walking this whole time. If that like smelled like sulfur and warm, I'd have been like, move over, fishes.
For sure,
like,
but good thing she didn't.
Okay.
And as she's walking back through this tree forest, her legs get snacked up. And she's held upside down. She's in a trap. She's like, oh my god, there's a trap here. So someone laid this trap. I'm in a trap.
Yeah, some kind of sentient, intelligent life form is hunting.
Yep. And she's been hanging upside down for a while. She's about to pass out. And as she passes out, she sees something trudging towards her.
Krampus.
Basically
Krampus.
Vectel. I'm going to read you the introduction to Vectel.
Okay.
Just this little snippet. I don't recognize the thing squirming in my trap.
Rude.
This is new. I approach it cautiously, my blade drawn. A moment ago, it was dancing and writhing, and now it's gone limp. The smell is Sakui, and yet not.
Sakui?
Curious.
What's that?
Sakui is his species.
Oh.
So the smell is Sakui, and yet not. Curious. I poke it with the tip of my sword to see if it will jump once more, but it does not. The wind is picking up, the cold air preparing for the little moon's arrival, the twin suns heading to their beds. With the tip of my sword, I slice the cord binding its legs, and it flops to the ground, lying in the snow. And then I am shocked anew as my Khui resonates inside me. My inward being, which has lain dormant for so long, which recognizes no mate amongst my own people.
Boner
It
alert.
vibrates and sings at the sight of this new creature. I stare at it, my thoughts confused and whirling. I snatch it into my arms and sprint for the nearest hunting cave.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
So, Khui, Khui.
Yeah, Khui.
Yep. So it's this, we'll learn more, but I'm going to explain it to you now. In his chest, resonating means it's like basically turned on, but also turned on. Like turned on like a light switch, but turned on aroused. Yep. Double entendre.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
I get it.
Thank you.
I did get it. I appreciate it.
And so that's Vectel. And he's like, what is happening? And
you're in love at first sight.
Yep. So takes her to a hunting cave. He's been out on a hunt for a few days, and caves are all around the land for them to stay in while they do that. And he lays her down, builds a fire, and starts like examining her. He's just like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
He's like, she's white. Vectel's blue.
Yeah.
You
white
know?
people, you gotta watch out for when white people come to your land, dude. I gotta tell you right now, you gotta watch out.
For sure.
This is bad news.
Do you want him to stay? Are you
No,
sure?
you don't.
And so he's just like, what is this thing? And he's like peeling away her clothes and all this stuff. Meanwhile, she still smells like shit. She's been on this ship for 3 fucking weeks. Yeah. Like, so I'm thinking about this while
frozen
I'm reading
shit.
this, frozen shit. I guess the cold probably
helps
a little bit.
No horns. Hornless.
Exactly. Well, he's thinking that. Yep, exactly.
That's a Final Fantasy quote.
Really?
Yeah.
Hornless?
Yeah.
She's hornless.
She's hornless. Oh, yeah, and he does kind of sound like a Ronso, but whatever.
And so he strips her naked, and he like can't, his Khui has been like ignited, it's been activated, and it's resonated with this person.
Oh, and he can't control his Khui. I've heard that before.
And so he starts.
Here we go. I knew it. This is not good. Shouldn't do that.
Here we go. Going down on her.
Okay.
Then we get like Georgie's chapter. She wakes up and she's like thinking she's having a sex dream, and she's like about on the cusp of an orgasm, and she's like, oh, and then opens her eyes and she's like, I'm not dreaming. And she's like, oh, I'm not stopping this.
Oh!
She's not.
Georgie.
Yeah. She's like,
I don't know what it says about you that you've been covered in shit, fighting for your life, in a crash, dead bodies, walking through the snow, and you wake up getting ate out, and by an alien, and you're fine with it.
Yep. And not even fine with it. She's like,
into
this
it.
Is great.
Okay. And that's for her.
And that's for her. TikTok. Well,
the artist formerly known as TikTok.
The artist formerly known as TikTok. There was a trend on Book Talk called "We listen and we don't judge."
Yeah, that is.
But
I don't want to listen.
Right. It's not for me.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he stops when she's done. He's like thinking, oh, she's really into me. Like, she must be resonating. Her
Khui must be cuckooed.
He's like, I don't think she has a Khui. Her eyes aren't glowing. She's cold. If you have your Khui, your eyes glow and you're warm in this barren wasteland.
Oh.
So he's like, I don't think she has a Khui, but I just don't know what she is yet. He's like, but clearly she's resonating with me because she fucking is into it.
Well, there's one thing you're going to learn is that sometimes you get mixed signals from us humans. We are hard to read.
Yes.
Sometimes no means yes and sometimes yes means no, and it's really hard because you have to be clear about that. But
you do. It's a good observation.
It's tough out here.
So he like flips her over and is going to like start having sex with her. And she's like, no. And like kicks
too much.
Him. Yeah.
No Khui.
So then I'm going to read this little bit after she kicks him. My mate, the resonance of my Khui, my new reason for existing, has just planted her tiny strange foot in my chest and kicked. It's almost as if she does not want to mate. Her strange dead eyes are wide with fear, no comforting glow in them. I want to tell her that she'll be fine, that she's mine now and I'll take care of her forever, that we'll take down one of the monstrous Sakosks and pull a new Khui from its depths so she will no longer suffer.
Actually, never mind. I'm on board now.
Oh, he's very sweet. He learns instantly. He's like, she doesn't want it. Yeah. Like, instantly he learns.
Well, but I'm like, wait, so you're going to kill an alien and give me its alien power so that I could be warm all the time and have this sense?
Yep.
Let's fucking go.
And we'll learn why, too. She needs the Khui.
I've already forgotten about the other women back at the...
Well, and so is Georgie.
I'll let you know that right now. They died the second I left.
For sure. And he goes, but I'm puzzled as to why she would hurt herself. Because she, hurt her leg.
Yeah.
I rub my chest where her tiny foot landed. Without her leathers, her body seems even smaller, and she's soft and ridgeless. I'll tell you what that means.
Okay.
She seems to have forgotten this too, as she gives me an indignant look, then howls with pain and clings to her foot. I don't understand her. Maybe her lack of Khui is affecting her senses. I will not harm you, I say to her slowly, because she looks terrified. You are my mate now. Let me see your foot.
How is he saying that?
It comes out all garbled. Yep, it comes out all garbled. So, and she's saying stuff to him, like, they can't understand each other.
It would be weird if they could.
Yep. So he's trying to calm her down. He's like, you're my love. You're my life. I'm here for you.
And
I'll never hurt you. Blah, blah, blah.
Here's his like snarling and he's like petting her.
Yeah. After just having eaten her out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then like he realizes they chill out and they, she's like, Georgie.
Like a classic. Yes. Yeah.
And they like figure out that they're calling each other, and she's like, Invectal. Okay, so we're there. Boom. We're already breaking.
We're close. We're engaged now.
Yep. So after a while, he hears her stomach growl, and he like goes to his little pack and gives her some food, and she eats it, and it's like they explain in the book, it's like eating like ghost peppers. It's so fucking spicy.
Oh my god.
So she's like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
He has water. She drinks the water.
Water's piss. I'm just seeing it as aliens.
For sure. They realize that they need to leave the cave. Go get food. Go get water.
Go water. Go.
You go. And so they get out of the cave and he like gestures to her to get on his back. And so like she's piggyback
like,
style. Oh yeah, she's like, hell yeah. But before, when he's outside the cave, she's like ogling him.
She's into it.
Yep. So he's 7 feet tall, blue. I'm like, okay, so a little bit Avatar-ish.
It's a little Avatar-ish, but it's way more...
But different.
It feels way more Dungeons & Dragons, like, tiefling. Because, like,
does.
that is how they are described.
It does.
And
so
there even are blue ones.
Yep,
So, like...
7 feet tall, huge, ripped, jacked. Black mane, she describes it as, and then he has ridges. So like his forehead has ridges. His arms,
I feel you.
His arms have ridges. His chest has ridges.
Star Trek shit.
His leg has ridges.
Okay.
His tongue has ridges.
He's kind of rib for her pleasure. He's kind of like who's our boy at Halloween? Our bargaining demon, Zena.
Damn it.
Zena.
Yeah, he gives demon vibes.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, blue demon, blue ice demon.
He's got like 4 fingers and 3 toes. And a tail. So that's him. And she's like
4 fingers or like 3 fingers and a thumb.
Like that.
All
like
right.
3 fingers and a thumb.
Okay.
Good call.
2 in the pink, 1 in the
God,
sink.
you're so smart. Sometimes I'm like...
Well, I just think about stuff.
You do. And it shocks me.
I wish I could stop. And maybe I could sleep at night or have a moment of peace in my life.
And so she gets on his back and he's taken her down this mountain and she's realizing we're going the opposite way of where the other girls are. And so
I wouldn't have even realized that. I wouldn't even know where they were.
Like,
I wouldn't know what direction.
Sorry.
I said other girl. Liz?
You wanted me to leave?
You know a Liz now?
Yep.
I've never heard of her.
Just compartmentalize that. Oops, they're dead now.
Yeah. Dead girls covered in shit? Doesn't sound familiar.
So she hops off his back, is like pointing, like we gotta go somewhere the other way. And he just keeps mimicking like food.
Yeah.
Like miming the sign for food.
You need to eat things.
So she decides, all right, fuck it. Let's get food first, and then I'll convince this alien to take me back up the mountain to the other girls. So she gets back on his back, and he, like, finds a rock for her to sit on, and he, like, convinces her, like, stay here.
Yeah.
And so he comes back with, like, some small rodent-looking type thing.
Whatever.
And he's, like, cutting it, and he's like, here, you eat. And she's like...
Cook it, bitch.
She kept saying, like, cook it. And he's like, what?
But maybe you don't have to cook things on this planet.
She did the symbol for fire, because when they had the fire earlier, she was warming her hands, so she does the symbol for fire, and he's thinking, she wants fire for her food? And he's like, just forcing it, because he's like, bitch, I can't make you fire right now, just eat the fucking rabbit.
I'd be like, if you've never had food over a fire, I'm about to blow your mind, dude.
Buckle up.
Buckle up. You never heard of cooking? Get ready, dude. I'm going to teach you about sizzling.
So she eats a little bit because she has to. I mean, she has no choice. Like, she's starving to death, and so she eats a little bit of this raw meat. And then they are by the brook again.
Yeah.
And so she can see the tall bamboo-looking reed things again. And he lets her walk up to the water, and he's thinking to himself, I'm going to let her look, but I won't let her get into any danger. And then when she goes to, like, kind of go in, he stops her.
Yeah.
And takes out these red berries things and does something with them and puts them in the water. And then these fish aliens come out and they're like, let it crowd crazy. But then they swim off. They obviously don't like these red berries.
Okay.
And he's like gesturing, now you can go
you stupid.
The creek and wash the shit off you. And in that moment, too.
Ew. So he ate her out covered in shit.
I was wondering when you were going to pick up on that, Paul.
Oh, my God.
I was wondering.
Ew.
Yeah, dude.
Cocka nasty,
yeah, dude. Yeah,
I mean, maybe it's just, it's different on different planets.
Because she was he's a barbarian.
Oh, because even on his planet, he's a barbarian. Or maybe they're the only life.
Well, intelligent life.
Yeah.
On the planet, we learn.
Okay.
But still barbarians. He's like, I don't give a shit if you smell like sewage.
I want to lick your
I don't know. I couldn't get past it,
puss.
obviously.
Ew.
So then before she gets into the stream, he's like, wash. Well, he's like, goes like this, and she goes, wash. And he's like, wash. It's like, boom, again, we're crossing the language.
We're Helen Kellering this. You know?
Okay, so they go into the stream, and he takes those berries out again and like crushes them and mixes them with water and uses them as soap. And he's like,
so they're just kind of all around these berries to do whatever you need.
I love them. I know, multi. They skill aware. They
skill aware.
Scare away.
Yeah.
Aliens.
They're alien and repellent soap. And they're soap.
Mm-hmm.
Can you eat them?
Who knows? I don't know. This is the last we hear of him. And so he's like washing her, and then she turns around and washes him. And then she looks up the mountain and is like pointing. She's like, mountain. And he's like, mountain, whatever. And then she's like, I don't know, but we're just going to get there. She's like, I'm going to kiss this alien and point to the mountain so he'll know that if we get to the mountain, I'll kiss him again on the top of the mountain.
We are suspending our disbelief to have a good time with a book.
We are.
You know?
And I can even...
And so I don't need to get into why that makes no sense.
For sure. For sure. So she starts kissing him, and he's never kissed on the mouth before.
Never been kissed.
It's not what they do in their culture. So he's like, what is
well,
she
no,
doing?
they kiss
She's
on the
putting...
bottom mouth.
Yes. So he's like, she's putting her mouth on mine and her tongue in my mouth. What? And so he's like, this is crazy. He's getting all turned on, you know? And then she like grabs his
raging alien dick.
And then she points at Mountain, and then he like touches her.
I gotta tell you,
and she's
this
like,
would not communicate.
And she's like, I'm telling him I will have sex with you if you bring me to the
I
top
would
of
not
the
get that
mountain.
from that message. I would be like, it makes
I'd be
me
like, we're doing
think
this now.
that you want to fuck right now and you're really interested in the mountain.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all I'm getting.
I don't know. So anyway, he, I guess, understands it.
Yeah.
And so they get out, she gets dressed, and they get on, move on it. Oh, she gets on his back, and they start trudging again. And she sees that he's taking her to another cave, a different cave. And he's like, she's wet, cold, still needs more food. We're going to have to stay, and then I'll take her up the mountain. That's what he's thinking.
Yeah.
But she gets down off his back and is like, fine, if you're not going to fucking take me, I'll take myself. And starts walking. And he's like, Georgie, no.
Georgie. Yeah.
And boom, her feet go out from under her. She slides into an ice cave.
Yeah.
And he's like screaming, is like screaming after. He's like, my resonance, my mate for life.
Yeah, my
like,
soulmate, my love.
She's gonna die. You know, he's freaking the fuck out. And she opens her eyes, and there's like these creatures looking at her. And she's like, I've got a dozen eyes looking at me.
Hopefully it's a dozen eyes and not one thing with a dozen eyes.
True. Well, I don't know. I would rather one thing with a dozen eyes than like...
No, because that's just a spider. I'm not doing that.
A dozen pairs of eyes stare at me out of weird fish-like faces. They're kind of human, kind of not. They're bipedal and have 2 arms and legs and are taller than me. Their eyes are enormous in their pointed faces. Their mouths small and round. They look almost cartoony except for the matted pale hair that covers almost every inch of their bodies. And they smell like wet, dirty dog.
Like seal people or something.
Yeah, she was like, they kind of remind me of Wookiees. Anyway, so she's like, hi, you know, like hoping they're going to be friendly. And they're not. They immediately pounce on her. And she's like, oh no, they're like vicious monkeys attacking.
They're going to kill me.
They're ripping her hair out.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay, Vector.
Vectel. So Vectel makes his way in. Boosh! Crashes in and is just like, roar! Like, roar, fucking, you know what I mean? And like picks her up. A couple of them try to like come after him. And he's like, flows them across the room. And then another one tries to come after him. And like, rips a chunk of her hair out again. And he takes a blade and just like slices it. And so they back the fuck off. He gets out knows the way around this little cave or whatever and gets out.
Okay.
And when he gets out, a blizzard has come in and he's like, we're staying in this fucking cave. Sorry, bitch. I'll take you up the mountain when I can. You know what I'm saying?
When it rains, it pours around here.
For sure. It's not a fun land.
No.
And she's thinking that. She's like, I hate this place. And so...
Yeah, I wish I would have died in the shipwreck.
For sure. They're in the cave now. He's built a fire. Each cave has like a stack of furs. So he's laid down the furs for her. And they start like pointing at things, trying to learn each other's language. Like fur, fire, whatever. And they run out of things in the cave to point at. So they start pointing at body parts.
Sure. Pussy. Puss.
Box. She just starts saying
all
like,
of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she like comes over and is like sitting in his lap and is like pointing at his ridges, his ears, his nose, his mouth, like all this stuff. And meanwhile, he's like rock hard and his chest is his
out
Khui's,
of control.
And
his
Khui's cooed up. And this whole time she's like, he purrs.
Mm-hmm, like a cat.
Uh-huh. And because his chest vibrates when it's near her and when it's like turned on because it's resonated with her. And so she like keeps holding her hand over his like chest because it purrs or whatever. And things start heating up, obviously. Mm-hmm. And they have full penetrative sex.
Let's go. Now I have a question.
Lay it on me.
How big is that dick? Like, is she getting split in
I'm thinking like 12 inches.
That's because if he's
7 feet tall.
He's 7 feet tall.
I'm thinking like 12 to 14.
Yeah, and like thick.
Yep.
And I'm worried about the ridges.
Got ridges on
okay,
it.
Yeah.
And she's noticing like, here's the penis, you know? Yeah. And then like at the base, but at the top, it has like a bone protruding.
Oh, some for the clit.
Uh-huh.
It's
like a rabbit.
It's got a... Dude, I'm going to tell you this. This sounds like a crazy cat lady's cat turned into her boyfriend. Is how I'm interpreting this. It purrs.
I can picture what you're
purrs.
putting
Like long hair, kind of like primal,
please.
and then what's the cherry on top of this dream?
It's a rabbit.
It's a rabbit dick. Like this is, yeah.
And he's like, "Wow, she's really fucking into this."
Yeah. Oh, she likes this,
Because she got really fucking into it.
Well, yeah. She was where I come from.
And
we
also
make you up out of silicone.
She says this. I guess I don't have to worry about birth control because this is a different species. There's no way he can knock me up.
That is a wild leap of shit. Like, or you're gonna end up with some fucking hybrid that rips you in half because your body wasn't like ready to birth it.
For sure.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to read this little excerpt from Vechtel's perspective. All night long, my Khui thrums with contentment in my chest. I have claimed my mate. Over and over, she's welcomed me into her small, soft body until we're both exhausted from pleasure. Being with a resonance mate is like no other feeling. I am pleased to my very marrow with my sweet Georgie. I cannot wait to return to the tribal caverns with her. I cannot wait for her to swell with my child, our child. My Khui was wise to pick her. She is strong in heart and spirit.
So this is a breeding kink thing.
And creative and enthusiastic in the furs.
In the fur, in the sheets, in the bed, in the sack.
She doesn't resonate for me, not yet. But when she carries a Khui, she will thrum with pleasure at my touch like I do hers.
Okay, question.
Okay.
Maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't.
Okay.
So do like those aliens, are they born Khui-less?
They are born
Khui-less. And they have to go, you always go and find a Khui.
And I'll explain that to you. We're getting close to when I explained that.
I would love a Khui.
Dude, me too after you hear about it.
You know, a little guidance.
Yes, right. Like, this isn't the one.
Yeah, you know.
He's not your mate.
Yeah.
But what if you never find one? And that's a running theme in this book.
Well, then I'd be like, I would rather never find one than waste my time. But actually, no, I wouldn't, because I would just be fucking
You'd be so
all day.
depressed because you know you're not finding your mate.
It would be like, that would be one thing to not find your mate and your Khui never go off, but it would be like another whole disappointment to know that like everyone like they're like, well, my Khui doesn't go off for you.
True.
It's like everyone knows you're being rejected.
Yeah. It'd be wild. Okay, so the next morning, he leaves, and he goes out to check the traps that he laid the night before so he can cook her some food before they go up the mountain. When he comes back, he sees something in the snow, and he's, like, digging through it, and he's like, it's a foot that looks like Georgie's. It's a 5-toed foot. Oh. He's like, there's more of her. Oh, my God.
That's what she's been trying to do.
This is why she wants me to get up the mountain. There's more of her. Mm-hmm. And so he goes inside and he's like, come outside.
Look at this foot.
He's like, you gotta see this. And she's like, oh fuck. And she's like digging through the snow. She finally sees who it is. It's Dominique, the one who was
the screamer
assaulted.
one?
Yep.
She left and she froze to death.
She froze to death. Yep. So he's like, okay, I've got a new fire up my ass. Let's get you to the front. You tell me where to go. And so she gets on his back and
she steers him like Ratatouille.
Absolutely. Pulling on his mane. And they see the spaceship and he's like, oh fuck, oh my God, there's a spaceship. And so long story short, they get to the thing, actually short story short, they get to the spaceship and she jumps down in there and immediately she's like, God, it smells like shit in here. Really
you abandoned us, bitch. So
it's been 2 nights, by the way.
Okay.
This is the second day. So Vechtel, so she's like, I've made friends with someone, and he jumps down into the thing, and they're like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. There's a goddamn alien. This is crazy. And he's just kind of taking stock, looking around, and he's like immediately possessive of her. So he like puts his arms around her, you know, and then the girls are like, what's that about?
Don't worry, we're not going after your girl.
Uh-huh. And then Kira, he starts talking, and Kira can translate.
Of course.
Kira can hear what he's saying.
Finally. God damn.
And so Kira hears him say, I'm going to go get food for you guys. Please protect my mate. Don't let anything happen to her. Mm-hmm. And so Kira says that to Georgie, and Georgie's like, his mate? What?
Yeah, I thought this was just a casual thing.
I thought this was casual.
Me too. I'm like, let's not put any labels on anything. I just got here. You're the first alien I met.
Like, I gotta play the field a little bit.
Yeah, come on. What if there's other cuckoos out there?
And so he starts talking, and whatever, long story short again, they learn that he's got a small tribe, and he is the chief. He's the leader of the tribe.
And he's just been gone for 2 days. He didn't tell anybody?
No, he was out on a hunt.
So they're just like, he's hunting.
Yeah, yep. So anyway, he sees how dire their health is. He's like, I'm going to go hunt, get water and firewood.
Firefood. I think that this book has somehow regressed you in a way that now you're on an alien planet trying to communicate simple phrases to aliens.
I agree with that. Once he comes back, they devise a plan for him to get all of them out of there. He's like, y'all, there's 6 of them now. And by the way, they're not telling him about the 6 other girls in the pod. Don't know why. They just are like, we're not going to tell him about that yet.
Okay.
He goes, you guys will not make it to my home.
Well, you're all naked. You're busted up.
One girl's sick as hell. And he's like, that's Khui sickness. That you have Khui sickness.
What's Khui sickness? No Khui?
We'll find out.
Oh.
And so he's like, I got to go get to my tribe, bring back a bunch of supplies and a bunch of men for you guys so we can carry your asses, get you out of here.
Yeah, you need medevac.
Yeah, you're like almost on day 3 of being here. He's like, Georgie and I will leave in the morning and we will go to my home and we will bring back supplies.
Did they ever fix her wrist?
He's like splinted
it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so that's what they're going to do.
Honestly, that sounds like a pretty good plan.
Yeah. And he's thinking to himself, later that night, he's like, wow, there's over 20 unmated men in my tribe. And we've been given this gift of 5 female women.
Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh.
And to
Kukui our way.
Uh-huh. He goes, there's only 5 females in his tribe and 20 unmated men.
Those girls are going to be pissed.
So now we've got 6 girls and 6 girls in the pub. We got 12 girls. That's hello. So anyway, him and Georgie start to make the trek the next morning. They've been walking for hours and hours and hours, and he's like, okay, we got to stop here, and takes her to another hunting cave. And she can tell and they bone down again. After they bone down, she can tell this cave is different. It's got like smooth ice walls, and she's looking, and she can see something through the ice, and she's like, are we in a spaceship? We're in a spaceship. This cave is a spaceship.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So she's like, I'm going to do some investigating. And so they like light a fire, and she takes a torch and starts to like melt the ice and gets to the control panel, what she thinks is the control panel.
Okay.
And she's like, should I press this button? What if it sends a beam to the evil aliens? What if it she's like, what if I don't want to leave? She's like, but you know what? I'm going to press this button.
I would have probably hit the button.
She presses the button and things start lighting up. Comes out of dormancy. A voice starts speaking, and it's in an alien language.
Well, we need fucking Kirana or whatever, Kira over here to fucking translate for us.
And she's like, I don't understand. And she says that out loud. And then the voice starts speaking in English. And it's like, we have over 27,000 dialects.
Oh,
Would
voice
Earth
detected.
English? Yeah, and she's like, yes.
I'd be like, what other English you got?
Right. Talk to me in a Southern drawl.
Throw me something good. Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
That was so funny. And so she starts speaking, and this ship just kind of starts saying shit. They were like, the ship's like, this is SS whatever.
Yeah.
We were carrying the sock people with SAKH.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's like little sock puppet people. Okay.
An alien that's a sock puppet?
That's a sock puppet? It has to be worn?
No, the sock people are Vectel's people.
Oh, and they crash landed there, so they're refugees too.
Thank you, yes. And she was like, when? When did this ship crash? 287 years ago.
Of course. I thought it'd be longer.
She learns that the planet she's on has no name, but it's like more than time could ever imagine away from Earth.
Yeah.
And that a year is 372 days. A day is like 27 hours.
I was going to ask what the days were like when you said that it had been 2 nights.
And then starts giving a bunch of details about his people and stuff. So I'm going to read to you just a little bit. So Vectel's people are stranded here too. When was this? I ask, feeling a little faint. 287 years ago. Please note that when this system references years, they're calculated based upon the orbit of this planet versus the Earth planet. And years were longer here. How many people crash landed here? Logbooks record 62 passengers and 1 pilot. Many also died before accepting the symbiont. That catches my attention. Symbiont? The definition for symbiont is an organism that lives in symbiosis with another organism. I'm starting to get creeped out. Wait, Vectel has an organism in him? This planet has an element in its atmosphere that is toxic to humankind and also to the Sock people. It is a gas element, similar to nitrogen, that has not yet been discovered by humans, as it does not exist in any form on Earth. Your body is not equipped to filter it out of the air. Once you reach toxic levels of the element, your body will slowly shut down. The Sock at your side exists in mutualistic symbiosis with the creature they referred to as Khui. 8 days is how long you have before you die of Khui sickness.
Okay, well, Homegirl already had Khui sickness back at the thing, so what does that mean? She got a weak system?
Well, she was already sick, yeah.
Yeah.
All the rest of the other girls were also not hot.
Sure, yeah.
Because they haven't had any
I don't
food.
think anyone's doing great.
Georgie's doing all right because he's taking care of her.
I guess
but
so.
She'll still die.
I'm going to say it's only been 2 days.
Now we're on 3.
Yeah.
So she's learning all this stuff, and she's like, okay, so we can only survive 8 days without a Khui. Caveat, once you have a Khui, you can't leave the planet. It'll like fucking kill you. And so she's like, oh my God, this is a catch-22. Real Sophie's choice.
It really is. I would be like,
what are the chances are you getting off this planet?
Well, this is what I would say. I'd be like, ship, I need to know how likely is it that you are ever going to fly again?
Right.
Because if you're never going to fly again,
it's not going to happen.
Then Khui me in.
Meanwhile, her and the girls are also like, by the way, those aliens are coming back for us. Like,
yeah, they're supposed to come pick us up.
Yeah. So now she's thinking, okay, we've got 8 days to die. The aliens who dropped us off here might know that, and so they're probably could be back at any minute so that they can get us before we die, blah 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 blah.
I would think that those aliens like only care about the 6 in the pod though.
Yeah, you would.
You know, like when they said I'm dropping cargo, it's like that's the cargo because I would just assume the other ones are going to die down there, and then I'll come pick up the 6 we were contracted for.
For sure. Then the computer, before it goes back into hibernation mode, is like, before I go into hibernation mode, would you like to have the language of this people drilled into you so you can speak to the person at your side?
Well, I guess so.
She's like,
I guess if you're offering.
Yeah, sure. She's like, fuck yeah. So she gets a retinal scan, passes out, and when she comes to, her and Vectel can now talk to each other.
Sweet.
She's like, oh, thank God I can talk to
you.
you.
Yeah, love the ship.
Mm-hmm. She tries to explain that she's not from this planet, but he's not even though she can talk to him, he's not understanding it. So he's like, you're from the stars. You're not from here. He's like, okay, I can understand that. And he's like, but you have to get this Khui, and you have to stay. You're my mate. We're resonated to each other. Like,
let's talk about the here and now.
You're it for me. You're
not your past.
Yes, you're here now.
Yeah.
Forget about the past, baby.
Yeah, live in the moment. Yeah. And the moment is eat this weird organism or die.
Totally. All right, so they leave. They're like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go so we can get the other girls. He said, we can get them by tomorrow night if we hurry, so let's get the fuck out of here. They get to his place, and out runs this big, huge other guy that looks like Vectel, but his horns are all fucked up. He's got scars everywhere. He's clearly the bad boy.
Okay.
And his name is Rahush.
Rahush? Is he kind of hot?
He's definitely
short hair.
He's gonna be in the next book.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and he meets them instantly and is like, "What the fuck? What is this? You know,
what's this white whore?"
And Vectel's like, "Just get me inside." So they get inside, and his tribe is very small. Their populations are dwindling, and no one's resonating.
Well, I mean, if their whole fucking
there's 20 men and 5 women, and
their ship had 60 people, and a bunch of them died.
Yeah, but that was 287 years ago.
But I just mean like that was the start of your civilization. Was this small?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So they're on the brink. So it's quite literally a miracle that there's now all these women.
Honestly, dude, if I'm her, I'm Khuian. I'm queen of this village now, and especially after finding that ship, we're starting a like society.
100%. I'm with you, and that's what I was thinking.
I'm gonna rule as your queen.
You're the chief. I'm your fucking queen.
Yeah, and we're gonna like move the center to that ship. The ship is now City Hall. We're building out from it.
Oh no, their home is amazing.
Oh, is it?
So you walk into. This is how I pictured it.
I just want the information from the ship. For sure. You know, like I'm like fire this thing up. If it can get everyone to speak the same language, it can probably teach us about quantum mechanics or something too. Yeah. Like, let's go.
She walks in. This is how I picture. I picture it kind of like the Great Wall in Game of Thrones, and then they walk in, and then there's like a hole up at top. Cave holes.
Oh, I can totally see it.
The entire inside is a hot spring at the bottom. Everyone has their own.
I'm in love with
There's
this.
women's over here weaving baskets. It's
dude.
Yeah, it's like beautiful the way they describe inside.
I would drop me on this planet, make me never think about TikTok again, make me never think about any of the bills, rent,
For
nothing.
Sure. If I have to hunt, I have to hunt. But you know what? I'll just live here peacefully.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't need to try anymore.
Yes.
Anything I was trying
for
is gone.
The grind is over.
The only try now is to survive.
Yes. I'm with you. And I was thinking that. I was like, bitch, take the fucking Khui.
Take the Khui.
So he explains to his whole tribe, she's his mate, she's his resonance, there's more people, blah, blah, blah. We're going to go get them. I need people to join up. He asks the tribe healer, which is a woman, to heal her wrist.
And she does with magic?
While he goes and talks to the men. And the woman explains to her, if you had a Khui, I could use my magic on you.
Okay,
and you would
literally
just
the
be
second
healed.
someone dropped magic on me, I would be like, I live here, we're done. Earth, never heard of it.
Earth
Never,
who?
yeah, I was like, we're striking Earth from our vocabulary. I'm deleting it out of the computer, on the ship. We're never going back.
And they're in this really where they're in Vectel's home, which is this like,
oh my god, I'm gonna be the most powerful witch on this goddamn planet.
Malak, she resonated with someone. She's pregnant. She has a baby. She resonated with someone, but she says, "But I used to lay furs with Vectel.
Like a fuck.
Share furs.
I'll be like, ain't no problem here.
Yeah, but Georgie's like, what is this pang of jealousy I'm getting? You know?
Yeah, I don't even have a Khui, and I'm about to light your ass up.
Okay. So she's realizing she's falling for Vectel.
Okay, that's fine.
Especially now that they can talk and she sees how sweet he is.
I'd be like, listen, girl, you can't expect your boyfriend to not have had sex with people in the past, especially when you weren't on the planet. I'm sorry.
For sure.
Like, you know the whole like continent rule?
What's that?
That if you're in a relationship, you can cheat off if you're not on the
cheating.
same continent.
Yeah, I don't believe in that.
I don't either.
And if you're in a relationship and you're cheating,
no, obviously you define rules. You have a situation. If it's monogamy, it's monogamy. But I would probably not be that mad if it was a different planet.
Yeah,
because I would be like, I'm assuming you thought you were never going to see me again. If I show up on a rescue mission and you're like married to someone else, I'd be like, big bums. Right, but I would get under. I would be like, well, but do you want to come back with me or do you want to like stay here?
Yeah, I would totally understand.
And if there's magic, can I stay here?
Please, can I stay here for the magic?
For the magic.
Later that night, as she's doing that, Vectel's talking to a group of men, and he's like, "Listen,
I'm hitting that.
There's 6. Okay, I will run something by you. First, he's like, "Listen, there's 6 other women." And I need you guys to be fucking chill when you get there. Because Georgie laid down the law and was like, you tell these fucking men, they can't just be eating out these girls.
Yeah, you gotta ask. You have to be invited.
She goes, us humans, we don't resonate. So you need to be chill.
Yeah.
Tell your boys to calm down when we get there if they start resonating.
That's like, what's up?
And so Vectel's like, you boys need to be calm.
I like Vectel.
Yeah.
He said, let me round the boys up. Let me gather the boys, get them together. Let me make sure they know the rules, that we ain't going around.
And then we get a little boys will be boys talk. They're like, so what's it like? And he goes, she has a third nipple between her legs.
And she loves when I flick it.
Yes. And she goes crazy.
Yeah. And when our little rabbit clitoris simulator hits it, she goes nuts. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so later that night, they're back in the cave and she's like starts undressing him and like they bone down, they have sex. Afterwards, he starts talking to her. He's just like, I can't believe I found you, my love. I can't believe my life is so complete now. I've never felt this way. And this is crazy that I found my mate. And he puts his hand over her stomach. He's like, you could even have my kit right. You could be pregnant with my kit right now. They call them kits.
Okay.
And she's like, what? She like jumps out of bed. She's like, pregnant? I thought that wasn't, you're an alien.
Listen, ma'am, you're having bareback, no condom, cum dump, pussy flooded sex with an alien. That shouldn't be like that surprising to you.
Yeah, so she's like, oh my God, I could be pregnant. And she's thinking about this. Okay.
I'm like, I need to get a Khui stat is like all I would be thinking.
That's all I'd be thinking. I'd be like, we're on day 4 now.
Yeah.
Come on. So next day, the tribe is heading to the mountain. They do hit up the spaceship and a few of the men learn English so that they can speak to women when they... So yeah, that is happening.
I didn't even think about that, that they should do it the other way too.
Yeah.
Smart. I love this spaceship.
Totally. Love it.
Ooh, you know what? It makes me like a little sad to think that like the Vectar's whole species like crash landed here and like clearly they're from like a super advanced like smart like that can download language into you.
Right. And now
it's just like this is the remnants of like stranded people that are now just these hunter-gatherers.
Uh-huh.
Bummer. Yeah, life is so hard.
Yeah, but also life is a cycle.
Life is a cycle. That is true.
You know?
As above, so below.
Totally. I prefer Vectel's current way. I'd rather be hunter-gatherer.
Fuck that. If I could be with his full society, I bet their video games are so good. Are you kidding me right now? Fuck that shit. I'm like, I bet their VR could make me live this out. No problem. But you know, you make the best with what you got.
For sure. As they're trudging along, she's thinking, oh my God, I could be pregnant right now with an alien baby.
But if she like likes
and
that
she
a little
goes,
bit?
You know what? I don't care.
Seriously,
I'm falling in love with Vectel.
What did I have going for me back home?
First, in Orlando, Florida.
Yeah, some dead-end job, working.
Dollar General.
Yeah, working forever. Probably, society fails before I get to retire, and then I die.
She's lucky. So, she's like, he's so strong and capable, I love this man, I want to stay. So they get there, and the girls are practically on their deathbeds.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to freak you out, but I've brought some more men with me.
How many fucking Vanunus are resonating? What are they called?
Kuis. Vanunus. So they jump down, and it's like silent for a while. And then we start hearing purring. But none of the men are making any moves.
Everyone's
being cool. She can hear at least 2 people are resonating right now. And she's like, wow, this is insane. So she tells the girls what resonating means. She lays it out on the line.
If a guy comes up to you and he says he's resonating with you, do not fucking trust him. They don't actually resonate with you, and they're just trying to get in your pants.
For sure. Only stick with them if they purr.
Yeah. You put your head on that heart.
Exactly. So she is like, you guys we're all going to die in 4 days if we don't take a Khui.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't take a Khui, let's think about this. These aliens, they're probably going to be back soon, like in the next day or 2.
Yeah.
And we're going to be cattle to them once again. What are the odds that we can fucking
get back to Earth?
Right. So, but they are genuinely thinking about it. Georgie's like, if you want me to stay and fight and you guys don't want to take the Khui, like, we have to have a conversation about this. Whatever. I'm like, I don't think you do, but whatever. So finally, after discussing the whole thing, the girls and them are like, I think the best thing is going to be for us to stay on this planet. What are the chances we can leave? And if we're going to stay on this planet, then we need to get a Khui. And so that's what we're going to do.
Realistically, I would just be like the chances of getting off the planet and getting back to Earth.
It's never going to happen.
In the next 4 days. Are pretty slim,
Well, and they look at Georgie at one point and they're like, what do you want to do? And she was like, well, I'm pregnant, so I'm going to be staying.
Bitch goes from, you might get pregnant if we keep having bareback sex, to, I'm with child.
And it's
I'm taking my maternity photos tomorrow after I get the Khui, if you guys want to join.
And dialogue in this book is ridiculous. The girl's like, damn, you getting that alien dick? You're pregnant already? Damn,
girl,
Georgie.
You're letting him hit that raw?
Totally. It's like that. It's hilarious.
Oh my God.
It's very funny. So they're like, okay, well, we're staying then. Fine. So then that is when they decide to break the news. She's like, well, Vectel, you think you're excited for 6 for the 20?
We got
6 more.
We got these pristine, still in the box, collector's edition.
And so they're like, we should open the things and take those girls with us. And they're like, these poor girls probably think they're asleep in their bed right now. They have no clue what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, like, bummer for that surprise, but they definitely got to skip way worse shit.
For sure they did. So they open up the pods. The girls are hysterical. They finally get them to calm down. Everyone loads up.
I want to be one of those girls.
For sure. While the men, by the way, like once they introduced each other, Vectel was like, okay, you guys go hunt right now. Bring back a Visti, which is like a big, huge elk animal type thing. He was like, go get a bunch of fucking food. We got to cook it up for them before we leave. And so those girls have been woken up in the pods now. Now the men are coming back. They're cooking this huge thing. And they were like, we found a ka husk. We saw a ka husk. That's the creature that gives the Khuis. He's like, we saw one off.
So is it just like one creature gives multiple Khuis?
I'll tell you.
Okay, because in my head there was like, we have to kill one per girl.
Right, that's what I thought too. So he's like, we saw a massive, huge ka husk. We have to move quickly. After eating and dressing the girls up in furs the best they can, getting them on the backs, they get out of the ship and everyone starts trudging along. And all of a sudden, the arms start, the implants that the girls got.
Oh no, I forgot about the implants.
Start going off.
Oh, fuck.
And they're like, fuck, the aliens are coming. So in a last-ditch effort, all the men cut it. They have to cut it out.
I would have, yeah.
Yep. And then one guy takes them and runs off and throws them into one of those caves that those creatures are in.
Love that.
Diversion.
Love that.
Smart. So they just start running and they make it to a big, huge forest and they feel the ground shaking and the girls are freaking out and they're like, that's the ka husk. And so...
Oh, I was like, the aliens are coming. But no, that's what we want.
For sure. Then there's a big, huge, like, hunt scene where all the men drop the women off And finally Vectel, like this creature is just huge. And it takes like all, however many of these men.
Yeah.
Vectel finally gets on top of it and just stabs its eyes out. And they finally kill this massive creature. And this creature falls down.
Sad for it.
For sure. Definitely sacrificed its life for these people. They come around and slice its stomach open and like open it up, and someone climbs inside the rib cage and like takes out this heart, and it's glowing.
Okay.
And opens it up, and there's 12 Khui, like look like worms.
That's
it's a parasite.
Convenient.
That there's 12. Vectel comes up to Georgie and is like, I have to cut you open on your neck.
It crawls in,
and it has to go into your body.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm doing it. We're doing this.
Dude, I would have been like, can you just go through the hole
it's already there
that you cut in me earlier today?
Right.
But okay.
Nope, it's got to go in.
I mean, I'm doing it though. Either way, I'm doing it.
For sure. She's like, I've made up.
Also, your healer's going to use their magic to heal me. I'm fine.
Yeah. He's like, are you sure? And she's like, yes, I want this.
Yeah, I'm with child.
I'm with child. I'm carrying your baby, Vectel.
Yeah, Vectel. This is serious.
So
what if she eats it and then it doesn't resonate?
And she has that. She has the thought, like, what if I eat this and I'm a human?
Yeah.
Like, what if it kills me?
Yeah.
And
that I'm like, whatever.
But she's like, what if I don't resonate with?
But what if you didn't resonate with him?
Ooh, that would be a slap in the face.
I wonder if that like happens though.
No.
Like, are there ever one-sided residents?
No. It's only you.
There's one person and it knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't meet them, you don't meet them.
Okay.
So she can feel it crawling to her heart, and then she starts feeling it purr, and then she feels warm, and then she passes out. When she comes to, her like injuries are better.
I love this thing.
She's warm.
I'm all for it.
I'm so warm. Totally. And feels like she's glowing from within. And then she gets up and she's like, well, did everyone do it? And he said, yep, every single one of them did it. And then she like keeps hearing this massive thunder, and she's like looking around. And he's like, do you hear it? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, that's you. That's your Khui. You're resonating.
The thunder?
With me. It's in her body.
I mean, that's kind of cool. That part's fun.
Yep. And he goes, she's like, how many people have resonated? And he's like, a lot of us have resonated. And he's like, but I've told them to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Except for 2 of them. They ran off, and they're probably fucking in the woods right now. Liz and Rahush.
Oh, Liz likes a bad boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
She's the next book.
Yeah.
Liz and Rahush is the next book.
Okay, I think you should read all these. These are like cheesy, but these are fun.
They're fun. That's why I didn't read the novella, because they were like, don't read this novella if you don't want Liz and Rahush spoilers. Yeah. And then Georgie, she's like, okay, good. I'm good for her. She's like, get it, Liz.
Yeah, get it, Liz.
And then she starts getting horny.
Well, like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, this is next level alien.
Fucking resonating.
Yeah, resonating. Now she is about to get knocked up.
Again.
I'll tell you that. She got twins.
For real. And he's like, do you feel it? And she's like, oh, hell yeah, I feel it. And he's like, we're going right now. Everyone can leave.
Everyone look away. Everyone turn around.
So he carries her somewhere and like puts her on a rock, and they're just like going at it. And then all of a sudden, while they're going at it, she's like, there's a fucking spaceship.
Yep.
And she can see the spaceship go over and like beam to where the hole is, the cargo hole. And it lingers there for a while, and they're like, okay. And then light turns off. Zoop, they run away. And that's a lot. That's
that's it for them.
That's it for them.
They didn't come.
Nope.
I thought they would have sent a ground.
They're like,
party
everyone's
down.
gone. I guess they're all dead. They escaped, and now they're all dead, so we're not going to look for them. Easy out. Because
I would have at least expected them to come down, look, and then like track the trackers.
Nope.
All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
handled.
Totally handled. And now they make love on that rock, and the women have decided to stay, and that's the end of the book.
You must read the next. You must read the next.
At least read the next so that I can get to, because you know what it's called?
At least the next to get to the novella.
It's called Ice Planet Honeymoon, is the novella of Vectel and Georgie.
Damn, that was short.
I know, but it was fun.
It was fun. And you know what? I do want to know more.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Paul, I can read it in like no time. There's baby books.
It seems like it's like 2 20-minute episodes of something.
Yes.
Is what this would have been.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
That's fun.
I know.
That was funny.
That was funny.
Huh. I like that world.
I like it too.
Like, I want to hear more about it.
Well, and this is what's so funny. In the back of the book, we get this the people of Ice Planet Barbarians.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Vectel, and it gives like a description of him, chief of the Khui tribe, son of Hector, the prior chief who died in Khui sickness. He's dedicated hunter and leader and carries a sword.
He died of Khui's?
His dad.
Of sickness? But why? He didn't have a...
I couldn't tell you.
Oh.
He is the one who finds Georgie, and resonance between them is so strong that he resonates prior to her receiving her Khui. Georgie, unofficial leader of the human women, originally from Orlando, Florida. She has
Orlando, Florida.
golden brown curls and a determined attitude, newly pregnant after resonating to Vectel. And then we have families, which I didn't want to read too much of these because I was like, this might be a spoiler
That might be a
alert.
spoiler.
But then we've got human females, and it's funny because it just gives a description of each one. Ariana, Claire, Harlow, Josie, Kira, Liz, Marlene, Megan, Nora, Stacy. I'll read you Liz's. Liz, a loudmouth huntress from Oklahoma who loves her Star Wars and giving her opinion. Rahush kidnapped... Oh, wait. I'm not going to read.
Yeah. Yeah, that you just spoiled yourself. You just spoiled yourself.
But you know what? When I spoil books for myself, I can forget.
Yeah.
Completely forget.
Yeah.
So it gives like a description, and then it gives a description of all the men. Dude. I'll just read their names. The unmated hunters. Oh, okay. I'll try my best.
Yeah, you'll just read their names. No problem.
Ihako, Beck, Kashal, Dazje, Araven, Hayden. So there's all these men. Then it lists the elders in the tribe, the dead, Dominique.
I was going to say, yeah.
Dominique, a redheaded human female. Her mind was broken.
Already so rare.
A redheaded human female. Her mind was broken when she was abused by the aliens on the ship. When she arrived, she ran out the snow and deliberately froze to death.
Oh.
Then we've got Chrissy, a human female, dead in the crash. Peg, a human female, dead in the crash.
Peg!
Not Peggy.
Not Peg.
Peggy and Chrissy.
Peggy and Chrissy didn't make it. I hope they were friends.
I don't think they were.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, fuck. Now I just want to hear more about it.
No.
Well, no, that was a fun one. Fuck, that was a good one.
Yeah,
that was very like not smut heavy, but it is smut heavy. I guess it's just I didn't care about the smut this time as much because I was more interested in all the alien planet stuff.
Yeah, in the smut, it's very much it's a sex scene, and he's like, my cock is hardening, blah blah blah, and she's like, oh, the ridge is, it feels amazing, like whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's clearly a smut book,
but the story is fun.
The story is way more fun. I desperately need to know what the magic looks like.
Yeah.
I won't be able to stop thinking about that.
Well, I just wonder, like, how the 22 books, like, what happens?
Yeah, I'm just like, what? Like, at book 22,
yeah,
what's the last chapter? Like, is she ruling over this planet?
Yeah, dude, crazy.
Okay, that was a fucking good one. That was fun. That was a nice, light, refreshing palate cleanser.
100%.
From, like, the ones we've been doing that have been very, like, smut story, people having sex. I like
For sure.
aliens.
Okay, let's do this one next time. Let's do The Shadows Between Us.
The Shadows Between Us.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really hard, I don't know how you would guess, you know.
The Shadows Between Us. I think that The Shadows Between Us, that's what it's called?
Uh-huh.
The Shadows Between Us is a period piece, and it's going to take place in feudal Japan.
Ooh.
And it is going to follow the story of the firstborn daughter of a clan of assassin ninjas.
Cool.
And, you know, they are elite, and they work directly for the emperor, pulling all of his political assassinations.
Nice.
They CIA the whole thing.
Yeah.
They are very, like, they're of his clans of assassins, they're the top. And so The Shadows Between Us is going to be about the head of the clan of her father.
Sorry, excuse me.
It's fine.
It's the LaCroix.
It's going to be about her father is dying on his deathbed, and she's, you know, set up to take over. She's to take over because he never had any sons or anything, and this will be the first time that a female has ever led an assassin clan, and so it's kind of like a shake-up.
Cool.
So
does she pretend to be a man? Because
no, she does not Mulan it.
There's a bunch of smut books.
Oh, I'm sure that are about like women pretending to be men. They get caught and then they fuck the dude.
It's more like the mafia romances. I'll try one.
All right,
we'll
do this.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, so she's, ready to take over this, and it's like been accepted and approved by the emperor, but that doesn't really mean that it's cool with everyone in the society. So it is a little bit of a shakeup that she's about to take over the business.
I mean, a woman, hello. God.
So it's gonna come in where it's like the day of the, I don't know what you would call the passing over of power. It's a whole like ceremony. He's like, oh, my daughter, I don't have long to live. The emperor's there. And it's supposed to be like the point that like all the other clans of assassins come together and like recognize the new leader. And it's like, we're all good. And then mid ceremony, she's fucking up there trying to accept her thing, take her whatever.
Yep. Shit goes down.
Assassination attempt. Not on her, though. On the emperor.
Oh.
And she, because she's up there, acts quick enough and she stops it. She saves the emperor.
Nice.
So that kind of like, the emperor's like,
you figure out.
I feel really good that I've decided to like promote you, even though you're a woman, to this position.
Yeah.
But you figure out who tried to kill me. Like that's your first like task or whatever. Cause clearly like me appointing you has caused some like strife amongst the clan leaders.
Yeah.
So then the rest of the book is going to be her being like, all right, well, I have to like figure this out because whatever. And while she's doing it, she's going to like start with first their like tier 2 assassinators ninja clan. And she's going to be like investigating them. And she's like, I'm doing this on my own. Like, I'm taking the case. I'm not sending this to like any of my flunkies. Yeah. And obviously, while she's like staking out the leader of the other clan, she's fucking there. She's in his house. He doesn't know. She's just watching him.
Yeah.
She's like totally in her element, not thinking about anything, watching, knife fucking to the throat.
Oh.
Because his number one assassin guards him and is like, caught you. And she's like, I can't believe that I didn't see you sneaking up or whatever. So then basically they have like a tense moment.
It's like an enemies to lover.
It's like an enemies to lover, but where she like, they're having this little moment and he's like, I'm not going to let you kill my clan leader. And she's like, I'm investigating who tried to kill the fucking emperor. So after their like first like meet thing here, they're going to like have it out fight. Ding, 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 ding. But at the end of it, it's going to be like, I'm trying to prove that like who killed or tried to kill the emperor. You're trying to protect your clan leader. Like, if your clan leader didn't do this and you guys aren't fucking behind this, then you would have to work with me for us to figure this out. And then let me keep an eye on you too. So then obviously they're going to start falling in love.
Yep. Slow burn, build up tension. They're like, I don't want to say the word stakeout, but they're not on stakeouts, but they're investigating.
Yeah,
it is
stakeouts.
Force proximity,
and because of like their profession, like their whole thing is like being sneaky and hidden and away in the shadows, like always, whatever.
Totally.
And then
I would totally read that.
And as they're like having this like slow build moment, like they have like moments where they open up to each other, and it's like clear that they were both born into this life, and they don't really enjoy it. They don't really enjoy working for the emperor. Like taking lives is just something they know how to do, but they also know that like because of who they are and how elite they both are, they're like, this is our lives. Like at this point we're tools to the emperor. Even if we wanted to leave, like he wouldn't allow it without us dying, basically, is how we would have to get out. So whatever, the whole book is them investigating, falling in love. They start fucking, and then it does become a problem because they start getting distracted.
Oh shit.
And it's more like one of the times when like they finally are like giving in during one of their stakeouts and they start fucking, they almost get killed by like another assassin, and then they lose the chance to see who that was.
So they're like, we have to stop.
And they're like, we can't do this. It's like distracting us from our job or what, like whatever. So then at the end of the whole, like the climax of the book, it's like they will have kind of like laid a trap so that whatever assassin was going to come and try to kill the emperor, and they're going to catch him, whatever. And then it's revealed that the actual person that was trying to kill him was one of her father's generals who like didn't think that she should have been the one. So he's like, I started this whole goose chase to be like, oh, we're after the emperor, so that it would make you look incompetent.
An inside man.
It is always an inside man. So whatever. So then like as the whole thing like happens, it's all coming out. It's going to be all like this huge played out dramatic thing of the confrontation. She's going to die. She gets killed during it. And then that guy like comes in and he like takes revenge and kills the general, but like in his last moment kills himself
but he doesn't actually die
because he's in love with her and she's just been killed, like a real Romeo Juliet situation.
No, so does he actually die, or is it a
so
psych death?
so then like they're dead, and the emperor's just like, well, I just lost like 3 of the greatest tools, and they like hear the emperor's like in the room like, these were my greatest tools and I just fucking lost them and I'm like pissed. But he's like, whatever, gather the like generals, like it's time to have another tournament to see who's going to be the next like best of my fucking assassins. And then so their bodies get like dragged off into the cart and just like drug out into the mud and thrown out there.
Oh my god.
And that's where 17 hours later,
17,
she starts to stir first and wake up because she wasn't dead.
Thank God.
She used one of their ninja poisons to mimic death. And then when she like stands up, we get the inner dialogue of her saying like, oh my god, like I've never been more uncomfortable, more freezing, cold in my life, but like they bought it. And then he wakes up too, thank God. And then they run off together to like live a simple life in a small village as rice farmers and like raise a family.
That.
Away, no longer tools of the emperor.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's
what I think Shadows Between Us is about.
That's a really good one. I would read that right now.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel like I just did.
Yeah.
Actually.
I can picture it, most of it.
I could picture it too.
The fighting turning into sex is cool.
Yeah, it is.
In the beginning. Yeah.
Hot.
Hot.
Uh-huh. Into that. I love the whole Japanese aspect. The
whole
thing. Well, we'll see if that's what The Shadows Between Us is about.
I hope so. I mean, honestly, this one lived up to my expectations before, honestly, kind of.
Yeah, it did a little bit. That's fun. All right. Are we done?
Yeah, I think we could call that an episode.
Call it a day.
That was a good one.
All right.
That was another episode of Secondhand Smut. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it.
Uh-huh.
Snoo. What was it called?
Khui.
Khui to you and Khui to me.
Uh-huh.
And
all right, bye.
Bye.